Hello everybody, I wish you all a very happy new year and welcome you to the today's newspaper analysis. Friends, first of all, let's take a quote from the today's newspaper analysis. So today we will be taking a quote from the Kofi Annan, the former United Nations Secretary General. He says, "Knowledge is power, information is liberating. Education is the premise of progress in every society, in every family." Here we can see that the knowledge and information has been equated with the empowerment, and the empowerment is an essential component in order to bring the liberation as well as the emancipation for the people. Guys, you can utilize this particular quote into the GS paper number 2 into the topics of the social justice under the heading of education. So guys, that's all for today's quote, and now let's take the newspaper analysis. Now, guys, taking up the first news article. This article has been taken from the Indian Express and it pertains to the new science, technology, and innovation policy that has been released by Department of Science and Technology. Now, guys, first of all, let's take some basic information. So, this is the draft policy. That means it is not the final version. It has been floated to the public and their opinion has been asked. And onto the basis of that particular opinion, finally, the final STIP will be released. Now, guys, this will be the fifth science, technology, and innovation policy since India's independence. We can see here that the first policy was released in 1958 by the name of Scientific Policy Resolution. Then the second one was in 1983 by the name of Technology Policy Statement. Then there was the Science Technology Policy of 2003, then the Science Technology and Innovation Policy of 2013, and now the new STIP of 2021. Now, guys, one very important part of this STIP 2021 is its focus onto the inclusivity, and into this particular direction, some of the suggestions have been provided. Now, guys, first of all these suggestions will be highly utilizable in our paper number 1 under the topic of the gender inequalities, as well as in GS paper number 2 under the topic of the social justice for the genders. Now, guys, first of all, it has been provided here that the 30% representation across the scientific institution needs to be given to the women, because, guys, it has been seen that particularly into the STEM courses, that is the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, enrollment of the women has been very much low, and because of that particular thing, even into the higher decision making bodies, women representation is not there, and many a times it is said that because of this particular thing, the women centric or the gender centric policies are not being made. So by this 30% representation rule into the decision making, such a problem can be resolved. After that, guys, there is the provision with respect to the spousal benefit, which is being given now to the couples as well as to the LGBTQ. Now, first of all, let's understand what is this spousal benefit thing. Now, guys, earlier it was provided that into the scientific institutions, into the same department, the married couples cannot work, and by that particular thing, there were large number of problems that were coming. The problem number A, that if in case two colleagues they got married with each other, then into this particular matter, one of them had to take the transfer, and here the people had to often compromise onto their careers. Now that particular disablement will not be there, and it has been said that the spousal benefits will be given. They can work into the same department, and not only the heterogeneous couples can take this advantage, rather the lesbians, gay, bisexuals, transgender, queers, all of them take the benefit out of it. After that, it has been provided that in all the policies that will be designed in order to bring the gender equity, there the LGBTQ section needs to be given the due importance in all the conversations into that particular respect. Guys, it has been seen that often the gender equity is just being talked about the disparity that is between the male and female, and the female are often the disadvantaged, but here we often forget to look towards the other excluded genders, that is the LGBT. So now they are to be given their due recognition. Then, guys, the next it has been talked with, it is with respect to the child care benefits that are to be given. They will be now made the gender neutral. Now, guys, earlier, even when the government brought their maternity benefit act, they have just recognized the maternal leave for the 26 weeks, and this particular thing is good in one respect, but At the same time, it is recognizing that only female are the one who have to give their responsibilities for the child bearing and the child care. Here, even into Maternal Benefit Act, there is no provision for the paternal leaves, and it recognizes that the father doesn't have any role to play. Now, all the child care benefits that will be given, they will be the gender neutral. Not only the mother, but the father will also be given the benefits. Moreover, guys, then it has been said that the science institutions, they need to undertake regular gender and social audits in order to see that their policies are effective in bringing the gender equality, and at no point their policies are such that they are further pushing the gender stereotypes. And then, guys, it has been provided that there needs to be the provision of the child daycare into the scientific institutions, so that the parents, they can leave their child there. And along with the child daycare, one more very good thing has been provided, that is the provision for the elderly care within the scientific institutions premises. So all these aspects are revolutionary aspects in terms to bring the social justice for the different sections of the society. And guys, we can give its reference into many of the questions in GS1 as well as GS paper number 2. So that's it, and now let's take the next newspaper article. Now, guys, this particular article has been taken from the Hindu newspaper, and it is just giving the brief update with respect to the vaccine development in India. So, guys, recently we can see that the subject expert committee of the DCGI has given the approval to the Covishield vaccine that is being made by the Serum Institute of India. Now, guys, this particular vaccine has been made under the Oxford trials, and the global license has been given to the AstraZeneca. And under the AstraZeneca in India, the Serum Institute of India will be developing this vaccine by the name of the Covishield. Now, guys, this particular vaccine will not be exactly equivalent to the one which has been developed by the Oxford University and AstraZeneca. It will be little bit different. Now, guys, the SEC, that is a subject expert committee, it is a high level body under the DCGI which gives first approval for the vaccine. Now they have given, and now the final approval will be given by the DCGI, and it is expected that within 1 to 2 weeks time the DCGI will give their final approval, and then immediately the vaccines will be administered to the people. Now, guys, there will be the 2 dose drug regimen that will be given. So one drug will be followed after the second dose, and this particular period between these 2 doses will be 4 to 12 weeks. Now, guys, it has been seen that more the period is there between the drugs, the more the efficacy comes. And it has been seen that by this particular period, there could be the 70% of the efficacy that could be observed. And this particular thing has been seen by observing the volunteer trials into the Brazil as well as UK. And meanwhile, even the Bharat Biotech are pushing forward to get the approval for their COVID 19 vaccine, that is the co-vaccine. However, for that particular thing, the DCGI has asked the further information, further data for their trials, that how much efficacy is there. So, there will be little bit time into the Bharat Biotech's vaccine that it can be given the final approval. And meanwhile, the Covishield, the SII's vaccine, will be getting an approval within few days. So, guys, that's all about this particular development. However, just please keep in mind one dimension with respect to this issue, that is, now as the vaccine is about to come, a new phenomena, that is the vaccine hesitancy, has been developed into the people. And now more and more people are not willing that they will be taking up the vaccine into the first phase. They are apprehensive, and even, guys, the Brazil's president had openly refused to take any vaccine, and such vaccine hesitancy onto the world might undermine the efforts to defeat the COVID 19 into the entirety. Guys, even there could be a case study into your GS paper number 4, that is ethics, where it could be asked that you are an IAS officer, you are deployed into a particular region where there are a high number of COVID 19 cases, they are coming, and you have to administer the vaccine, but people are showing the vaccine hesitancy. How you will be dealing with such a kind of a phenomena? So there you need to provide some thought provoking and some out of the box solutions. So meanwhile, please do prepare them also. There could be a well thought case study, and in both year, that is into the 2020 as well as 2021 mains, they will be very much important. So, guys, that's all, and now we'll be moving to the next article. Now, guys, this particular article has been taken from the Indian Express and it is talking about the recent hike that has been observed into the GST collections. And now let's analyze that what could be the reasons for such a hike. So, guys, just now it has been said that the December month's GST collections they are highest into the last 21 month and not into this particular year. Guys, if we analyze it onto the basis of the year on year growth, then it can be seen that around 11.6% hike has been there into the December's GST collection. So analyzing the reasons, guys, number one reason for this particular thing is the fact that into the December the people filed their GST which included the month of the November, and into the month of November the sales were high because of the festival of Diwali and all such kind of things, and because of that particular thing the GST collections have been high. Then, guys, the second it has been seen that actually there is the economic recovery, and always it was said that there will be a V-shaped economic recovery that India will be seeing, and it is the indication towards this V-shaped recovery. And third, guys, it is also the case that recently government started a drive onto the tax evaders or the people who were abusing the GST system. Now, guys, the government is coming with the e-invoicing system in the business to business transactions, and it is making it mandatory across the different streams. Guys, since October 1 it has been said that the country companies which are having the turnover more than 500 crore rupees they have to take it. Then, guys, it has been extended to the companies more than 100 crore in the month of January, and finally by April it will be extended to all the businesses. And, guys, through this the abuse of the GST via the traders it will be reduced, and by this particular thing there will be actual increase into the GST filings, and this particular impact has now started to be visible and it is reflected into the December month's GST collections. So, guys, simply there are three reasons, that is the high sales, economic recovery, and the government's drive on nabbing the tax evasions. Now, guys, the economist has asked that government needs to provide a bifurcated data that what particular aspect is leading to how much of the growth. However, government has not provided such bifurcated data. So, guys, that's all. However, it anyhow contains an element of economic recovery, so this is good. So that's it, and now we'll be moving to the next article. Now, guys, this article has been taken from the Business Standard and it is talking about some brief highlights into the past few years with respect to the economy and emerging issues. Now, guys, it has been seen that 2010 to 2020 was an era belonging to the developing and emerging economies, and it was expected at the start of 2010 that Indian economy will be the performer into this particular decade and will even surpass the China. And this particular thing even happened in 2014 when Indian economy surpassed the Chinese economy. It was observed at that point of time that such a trend will continue at least 2020, but such kind of thing did not happen, and but only for 3 years the Indian economy was ahead of the Chinese economy. And, guys, now after accounting the disruptions that have come into the 2020, IMF had said that the Chinese economy within this particular decade had seen a growth of 146%. However, India at the end of the day had just developed by 52%, which is way behind the China. But, guys, at the same time, India's growth is very much high into the club where the $1 trillion plus economies are accounted. Into this particular club, there are 13 economies, and here India has been the best performer at the 52%. Guys, the next best after India is USA at 39%, and still you can see the gap which is here. So India might not be able to outpace China, but India has been considerably good onto the economic recovery. However, guys, at the same time there is one particular issue that comes, that what about the inequalities that had come into the system. A reminder has been given that no one will foresee which volcano will erupt if inequalities grow. Now, guys, it has been seen that in recent times, because of the inequalities, there have been many of the campaigns. For example, the Occupy Wall Street campaign, which happened and where the people gave a slogan that is 99%. It was said that the 99% of the people they don't get any advantage of the economic gain. However, only top 1% are reaping all all the advantages. Guys, here in India also such kind of inequalities are emerging, and we can see such a issue by the ongoing farmer protest, as here one dominant theme apart from the other issues is also about the farmer, which have faced an inequality. It has been seen that the corporates, they will become more and more richer, where the farmers will become more and more poor, so more inequalities will be coming. So farmer protest can also be seen a kind of an Indian version of the Occupy Wall Street. It could be called as an attempt to occupy the Delhi. Now, into this particular context, we can get reminded about a statement given by the Karl Marx, where he said that the economies in capitalism see incremental growth punctuated by periodic crisis. So right now it could be a crisis, guys. Indian economy today is also being characterized by the capitalism because of the free market entry that has been given by the India, particularly after the 1991 reforms of the LPG. We can also be coming into an umbrella of the capitalism. So guys, the periodic crisis could be there, but these periodic crises can also transform into the full burn crisis, guys, and such a challenge is actually there into the next decade that the India had to face. After this particular question, guys, the next question comes: the harm that is being done to the climate into the wake of the higher and higher growth. Guys, this particular year the US president elect, that is the Joe Biden, has made an entire team consisting of the environmentalists and the scientists, and their core agenda is to look onto the pollution and the climate change. Now guys, India also need to bring the concept of the nature's capital and should calculate the depreciation of such nature's calculation capital, as we are achieving the high economies. Nature's capital's depreciation, guys, simply means the negative externality of the high growth rate. And then the third question is the power dynamics that are changing across the Asia. Guys, it was said that in 2010 the Chinese economy, it is 3.5 times bigger than the Indian economy, but today the Chinese economy is 5.7 times bigger than the Indian economy, and this particular thing will obviously be having some strategic ramifications for the India. Moreover, guys, not only the Chinese economy is rising, but also the expenditure that the China is doing onto the research and development, that is huge when compared to the India's expenditure. So India needs to take urgent actions here. Then guys, the fourth issue that comes here, that is the increasing Chinese military might into the world stage, and particularly onto the Indian Ocean. Guys, China, it is planning to launch their third aircraft carrier, and eventually in total the six aircraft carriers will be launched, and the two will be designated specifically to the Indian Ocean. Now it will also be having the ramifications for the India, and the power rivalry will be increasing, and this particular rivalry will lead to the Finlandization of the Asia, which simply means a kind of a phenomena where one powerful nation, it pressurizes the neighbors to to accept whatever the foreign policy that this dominant nation is having. Now guys, Finlandization was being carried throughout the Cold War, where the USA and the USSR, they were asking their neighbors and the smaller less powerful nations to abide by the foreign policies of these big countries. Particularly the USSR has done the Finlandization of the Western Europe, and for that particular thing the terminology has come. So this Finlandization will be carried now by the China, where China will dictate its foreign policy to the neighboring countries such as the Nepal, Bangladesh, and all such things. So that's it, guys, and now we'll be moving to the next article. Now, guys, this particular article has been taken from the Hindu newspaper, and it is talking about the end of the interconnection usage charge, or IUC, which had happened from the January 2021. First of all, let's understand that what this IUC is. It is, guys, simply a phenomena where suppose Mr. A, he is having the telephone connection of XYZ company, and he is making a call to another person, and this person is having the connection of the ABC company. So as the call will be connected to a different network, this XYZ company had to pay money to the ABC, and ultimately this particular money was taken by the subscribers. So whenever you were calling on to the other networks, you have to pay. Now this was the interconnection usage charges. So it was to be abolished in 2020 itself, but the TRICE delayed this particular thing, citing that some telecom operators are not ready for this thing, and now in 2020 finally the interconnection usage usage charges have been abolished. Now guys, it has been said that it will be bringing the benefit to the people who were already paying it. However, for some other networks, particularly let's take the example of the Airtel. Into the Airtel, the IUC charges were not there, so for those subscribers there will be no benefit. Now it has been said that as this particular cost is abolished, and then guys, the new trends are coming. For example, the 5G is coming after that this particular year. The spectrums sale will also be there. So now the companies are into telecom sector, they can focus on to their expansions in giving the better services to their subscribers and so on. Now, guys, if we talk about the telecom industry, it is poised to achieve the high growth rate due to the increasing telecom density, high subscriber base, population, as well as the new breakthroughs that are about to come, such as the 5G as well as the Internet of the things. Even the economic survey has said that the competition is increasing, but guys, at the same time, this intense competition has brought some challenges also. That is, the competition has been very much reduced into the telecom sectors. Into public sector, the BSNL and MTNL are the enterprises, but they are facing a large number of challenges. Their profitability has been declined, and they are not able to upkeep with the technological trends. And guys, it is needed that the government should clarify the future of the BSNL and the MTG. Guys, now a trend has been seen where the 4G subscribers have increased very much rapidly from 196.9 million subscribers in 2017 September. Now 517 plus million subscribers are there which are having the 4G connection, and it is basically showing the changing nature of Indian mobile users. And further, the abolition of IUC will be bringing a large number of advantages to them. Now guys, it has been said that now as government is further going for the spectrum sale, the spectrum price for the 5G needs not to be badly priced, otherwise the health of the telecom sector will further be declined, and there might be a situation that even more private players might exit, and then it will lead to either the monopoly or the duopoly. So into the times to come, government needs to be very much cautious onto their telecom policy as well. So guys, that's all about this particular article, and now we'll be moving to the next article. Guys, this particular article has been taken from the Hindu newspaper, and it is talking about the extra condition that needs to be there under the promulgation of the ordinance. However guys, very much important substance has not been there. Generalistic points have been made. So anyhow, let's take the article. So if you have read the Lakshmikant, you might be knowing article number 123 as well as article number 213 which has been mentioned. So under article number 123, the president can promulgate the ordinance, and under article number 213, the governor can promulgate the ordinance. Ordinance can be promulgated onto the basis of three conditions. Condition number one, if the state legislative assembly is not in session into the case of state, and if parliament is not in session into the case of the union. Then guys, there needs to be the circumstances which should provide that the ordinance should be promulgated, and these circumstances need to be immediate. However guys, there is no provision which is talking that an explanation is also needed to be provided at the time when the ordinance is being promulgated, that why it is being promulgated. And therefore here the attitude of the government has been very much mixed. For example guys, if we see the recent ordinance for the Commission of Air Quality Management, then there was the 4-page justification that was given. However, when the Farmers Produce Trade and Commerce Ordinance was promulgated, then no argument into that particular thing was given. So it is being said that there needs to be a healthy convention of always providing a justification for this particular ordinance. Now this particular thing will lead to the transparency. It will give a kind of a very clear message to the legislature that why they were being bypassed, and even to the public it will lead to a greater accountability. Now if we see the UP ordinance, or the ordinance which has been called as the anti-love jihad ordinance, here it has been said that the aim of the ordinance is to avoid the unlawful conversion. Now it is said that if we see these three conditions, first of all guys, there is no immediate circumstances which is existing that immediately the ordinance should be promulgated. Even such a phenomena, if it is going on, it was going for so long. And then guys, no logic in support of this particular ordinance has been given. It is said that under the ordinance, three conditions have been provided where a marriage could be stopped. That is, the conversion which is happening by the coercion, misrepresentation, or by marriage. Now if we see, if the coercion or the misrepresentation is concerned, then already the provisions are existing. But if the marriage is being made as a ground for not leading to the conversion, then guys it is something which is ill thought. Even the judgment on of the Allahabad High Court has been very much clear into the Priyanka Kharwar case, where it has been said that such a kind of a conversion cannot be wrong. And even the Supreme Court into the Hadia case had also said that conversion, if it is being taken for the marriage, then it is nothing wrong, it is violative of the rights of the people, guys. So therefore it has been said into the article that there needs to always be a provision for the explanation. Further, guys, this article is talking about the different sections of the UP ordinance, but that particular thing will not be important for your UPSC exam. So this is the important suggestion that we can take here. So that's it, guys, about this particular article, and now we'll be moving to the next article. Now, guys, this particular article has been taken from the Hindu newspaper, and we can utilize it into GS paper number 1, where the problems of the urbanization has been mentioned, as well as into the GS paper number 2, as well as the GS paper number 3. We can use it under the developmental related issues. So, the Prime Minister has unveiled the Global Housing Tech Challenge India, or the GHTC India initiative. Here, the Prime Minister has unveiled an initiative where 1000 houses are being built into the six of the cities. So these six cities are the Indore, Rajkot, Chennai, Ranchi, Agartala, and Lucknow. These 1000 houses will be catering to the people who belong to the lower sections of the society. Now, guys, it has been said that onto the modern technology, these housing projects will be initiated, and the technology has been taken from the France, Germany, and Canada. And even the prefabricated sandwich panel system will be used into the Indore. Guys, prefabricated sandwich panel is simply that on some other place there will be the walls, roof, etc., which already will be made, and then they will be brought onto one fitting and they will be fixed with each other. Guys, by using this prefabricated sandwich panel, if you might be knowing, then last year the China constructed a 54-story building into just 19 days. So this will be used. After that, guys, it has been said that specifically into the Chennai, the precast concrete system will also be used for the cheaper construction. Now, one more important component about the housing scheme is that government is now even focusing onto the central rental housing complex project. Now, this particular project will be catering to the rental needs of the migrant laborers, particularly who are coming into the cities. Into the aftermath of the pandemic, it has been seen that there was a substantial shortage of the good affordable living into the cities. So therefore the central rental housing complex is being developed. Guys, you can give this particular reference into the answers related to the urban development. So that's it, and now we'll be moving to the next article. Now, guys, this particular article has been taken from the Hindu newspaper. It is important for our GS paper number 2 under the topic of the parliament and related institutions. Guys, here the data has been given with respect to the 2020 for the number of sittings that have been made into the Rajya Sabha. So it is being said that here in this year only 33 days the Rajya Sabha met, which is lowest into the history of the independent India. Into the budget, only 23 meetings were there. Originally 31 were planned, and into the monsoon session only 10 sittings were there. However, the planned were 18, and entire winter session has been cancelled. And guys, this is the fourth time that the winter session is being cancelled. For the first time it happened in 1975, then in 1979, then in 1984, and now the fourth time in 2020. However, guys, it has been said that at the same time the productivity of Rajya Sabha was not bad. 82.7% productivity has been registered, which is highest into the last 11 years. But in terms of number of sessions, the Rajya Sabha has been worst since the 1950s. Guys, it has been said that here the total of 39 bills have been passed by the House during 2020. Now you don't need to keep the number of bills into your mind, because that is not important. However, one very important observation can be made here, that only 10% of the bills are now being referred to a committee into the 17th Lok Sabha, which is the present Lok Sabha, and this particular thing is very much less when compared to the last three terms. Now, this thing is disturbing, because if the bill will not be referred to the committee, then the adequate brainstorming cannot happen, and the loopholes into the bill will be coming into the later stages. There will be the protest, as the right now agricultural bills, the protest is happening. Guys, these three bills were also not referred referred to the committees, and ultimately it will be eroding the participative role of the democratic institutions. Guys, this particular data we can utilize into our governance related answers, so please keep it into your mind. So that's all about the today's newspaper analysis, guys. I hope that you are liking our initiative. Thank you so much.